we all have buttholes, so we all have our own one, and it's important to get familiar with it.
Yeah, mine just happens to be less friendly to me than perhaps your buttholes, but
It still loves you, though.
But that's what, of course, has inspired me to not just create better solutions for myself, but for millions and millions and millions of people out there that actually do suffer from hemorrhoids. There is a statistic that surprises a lot of people, which is that over 75% of Americans will experience hemorrhoids or symptoms of hemorrhoids during their lifetime, and that 50% of people will get hemorrhoids before they're 50, and that 40% of women get hemorrhoids during or after pregnancy. And that sounds like a lot of people, meaning that's over 15 million Americans get hemorrhoids every year. Why do you think nobody talks about this? Why do you think that there are not podcasts about hemorrhoids?
I think there's some sort of stigma out there, and I think a lot of the work that I do is trying to destigmatize talking about these uncomfortable topics. I will have patients come in the office to see me, and my job literally is to help treat their poop butt hemorrhoid issue, and they are still so embarrassed to talk to me about it. And a lot of my visits with my patients is normalizing and telling them, it's okay, like this is my job. I talk about this every day. Even if you're uncomfortable, I'm not. And hoping that creating that atmosphere that people start to feel more comfortable, not just talking about it to their doctor, but talking about it with their friends, their family members. Because as you said, so many people are dealing with this.
Ever since this business has gone from ideation to creation, and we're at a dinner party or at a party or at the park or sometimes in Uber, talking to strangers, family and friends, and the question comes up of, have you ever had a hemorrhoid? There's always at least one person that's like, at first a little shy to do it, and then they raise their hand, and most times another person comes out and is like, me too, and suddenly the whole conversation starts to be shared about their hemorrhoid experience and their favorite products, and it's breaking that barrier to create a very comfortable place to say, I have hemorrhoids, and that's okay.
Although it sounds like you're pretty comfortable talking to all sorts of patients with all sorts of gastrointestinal issues.
Very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
If I'm ever thinking that, I never show it to my patient, because I think your job as a doctor is to make sure they trust you and they feel comfortable with you. But I will also admit, if I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I am going to refer you to another doctor or another specialist.
Second opinion.
Yeah, a second opinion, a colorectal surgeon, for example. If it's elsewhere in the body, an esophageal surgeon, for head and neck issues, an ENT doctor. Doctors discuss issues all the time with each other. And I think that's the good thing about the medical community.
And that is a good thing, right? Sharing that type of information. There might be different generational knowledge.
Exactly.
There might be new insights, whether it's on treatment or symptoms or otherwise.
But I learned a lot from social media. I started out on social media because I just saw so much medical misinformation about gut health, digestive health. And it's a really popular topic, and everyone is talking about it, except for the doctors who are actually treating the problems. And I would have family members ask me, like, what do you think about probiotics? What do you think about colon cleanses? What do you think about coffee enemas? And it's all on social media, and there's so many people talking about it, except for the medical experts and the people who see these issues day in, day out, have done 10 years of training. That's where I came from. I've done 10 years of medical training to treat these issues. And so I wanted doctors to have a voice and to actually educate the public and let them know about what's actually fact, what's fiction, what is very expensive marketing, but you don't need to spend your money on that. And so that's where I started out on social media. But I actually found that it made me a much better doctor, because I learned so much from my followers, people commenting on my videos. You learn a lot from just like what questions are people asking.
But I also think that it's also interesting that you bring that up, because there's also been another trend where doctors come on and poke holes in myths or say they're fact to a lot of trends that they see on social media. So participating in that and watching that as a consumer has actually helped educate me as it comes full circle.